Right, sir. Good evening. Sir, am I audible? Sir, could you please confirm that I'm audible? Yes, right. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the confirmation, Manish. Thank you. Right, sir. So still people are joining. Okay. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. Meanwhile, let's log into our AWS server. Okay. Let's start our lab server. Okay. Right. All I'll do. It is into our Mumbai region, right? So let me open Mumbai region. Sir, this is like for yes, Linux is mandatory. Ranjan, Linux is mandatory, and so this is a DevOps Essentials course. Okay, this free course is about DevOps Essentials course. So within this free course, you are going to learn the required content in order to step into DevOps. Okay, Linux, Git, Tomcat, as I said, AWS. Okay, so within the AWS, what I'm going to teach. Yes, you can do it on Windows, not at all a problem. But if you want to work with Ansible, okay, in Ansible, there is a machine called as Ansible controller machine, so you cannot install that on Windows. Okay, is DevOps needed for AWS? If you know AWS, yes, you should learn DevOps. If you already know DevOps, then you should know AWS. Okay, these two are the combinations. Okay, if you already know AWS, you should learn DevOps because people are expecting you to work in the DevOps culture. Okay, so people are following DevOps SDLCs. So you should be working in DevOps. Even though you are AWS guy, you should learn DevOps. So without DevOps, there is no value for AWS. And if you know DevOps, any one cloud technology you should have. Preferably, as I said, AWS. Okay. Anjaneyulu Biram, as I said, all of my sessions, this DevOps Essentials course sessions are available on our YouTube channel. Okay, thank you, Chandramouli, for reminding me. So if you miss any class, just go ahead and watch on YouTube channel. Our channel name is Satya Technologies. Okay, Sahil Asya, you will get clarity. please do watch my previous videos, like day 1, day 2 videos. You will get clarity. Okay, the channel name is Satya Technologies. This is our YouTube channel. Okay, right. Let me look on that. Within this free course, within this DevOps Essentials course, what I'm going to cover. Let's see. Hmm. Linux, I am setting up VPCs. S3 EBS, S3 versus EBS, attaching and detaching EBS values with EBS snapshots, setting up Elastic load balancer. Yes, all these parts I will cover in the free class up to here. So within this DevOps Essentials course, okay, I am going to cover these topics from AWS. I am going to cover these topics for AWS. Okay. Setting up VPCs, S3. So within VPC, I'm going to cover all these things. And S3, EBS, and S3 versus EBS, when to use S3, when to use EBS volumes, attaching and detaching EBS volumes with EBS snapshots. Okay, setting up Elastic Load Balancer. Up to here, I'll cover in the free class in this DevOps Essentials course. Okay. Now, from the coming Monday, evening 6:15 p.m. From evening 6:15 p.m. we are going to start a new batch for DevOps. Okay, it's actual DevOps course. This course is for the people who join or who are attending the DevOps Essentials course, not for everyone. This DevOps course is not for everyone. This DevOps course is for the people who are attending my DevOps Essentials free course. Okay, it is a paid batch. Okay, within this DevOps, majorly, I'll cover these things: Ansible, Jenkins, and Docker. Okay, within Ansible, what I'm going to cover, you can see the syllabus over here. It is my main content. What you can do is, yes, you can go ahead and see the syllabus over here. Yes, it is the syllabus that I am going to cover in Ansible. So all these things you are going to learn in Ansible. So these are the into learn with Ansible. Introduction to Ansible, introduction to AML, setting up and configurations, Ansible command line, set up custom inventory files, Ansible playbook, system facts, target sections, variable sections, handlers, loops, conditions, notify tags, templates, task delegations, like running place in asynchronous mode, pausing the place and waiting for the place to complete, set up place from a playbook to run a single server of a group, set up a task limits, advantages and disadvantages with Ansible, securing Ansible playbook using Ansible Vaults, Ansible Pulse, Ansible Galaxy, and a lot more all Ansible. So these are the use cases that we are going to do: MOTD, web server, application server, database server, generating custom SSH keys, FTP configurations, SSH configurations, managing SE Linux users and group management playbooks, and a lot more playbooks with Jenkins and AWS. So while entering Jenkins and AWS, we are going to perform, we are going to write some other playbooks. And coming to Jenkins, we are going to cover. So we are not going to cover Chef over here. Yes. Introduction to Jenkins overview. These are the things that I'm going to cover in Jenkins. Okay. So apart from this, we are going to cover backup and restoration of Jenkins, deploying artifacts, use cases. Yes. Okay. For Jenkins, yes, I'm going to cover all these things. Okay. Not only these things, yes, I should add line over here. Let's see. Jenkins pipeline scripting. Okay. Nowadays, people are asking this Jenkins pipeline scripting, so you should be aware of this Jenkins pipeline. Okay. So how to write a pipeline script, how to write build pipeline script, how to integrate Maven, Gate, and Tomcat into that. Okay, how to use a declarative pipeline and what is the difference between declarative pipeline and scripting pipeline. All those things, a lot more we are going to talk about this Jenkins pipeline script. That we are going to do this in practice. Okay. Let me paste that over here. Okay. Next, Docker. This is my content. So much. So this is my content on Docker. And how to integrate this Docker with Jenkins. Another project will come, like another use case will come. Okay. Docker. So after Docker, so let's do one thing. Here we have completed AWS, right? Okay. Then what we'll do is after Docker, let's say as a fourth use case, like we'll be doing automating AWS infrastructure using Ansible. Okay, so here also one more use case will come. So first we'll try to create EC2 instances, S3 buckets. Okay, some of the use cases. Once you, what we'll do is directly we'll be deploying, we'll be building one sample project. That project will be directly deploying into your S3 bucket. From S3 bucket, we'll be deploying into our Tomcat server. Like I'll give you overall picture. Okay, so how the projects would be and what you need to do, and how to configure a CI/CD pipelines. Okay, what are the different objectives that comes into the picture when you construct a CI/CD pipeline? Okay, so all these entire things. So what is the? So majorly we will be focusing on use cases. Okay. So if you are struggling to learn DevOps, no need to worry. After attending my both of the sessions, like DevOps Essentials and DevOps course, you will get a full clarity. Okay, that's my promise. Okay. Yeah, so these are the things that we are going to do with automating AWS cloud infrastructure with AWS. So deploying Jenkins artifacts to S3 buckets and then set up CI/CD with Git, Jenkins, Maven, Java, S3 bucket, Ansible, AWS Tomcat. So all these things will be included in this final project. Okay, all those things will be included in this final project. So here lots of things to cover. That's why I have segregated the entire course into two parts. So within this DevOps Essentials course, you are going to learn up to here. up to here. Okay. Sir, you know DevOps. That's good. But you should know AWS as well if you want to become a perfect DevOps engineer. If you know AWS, you should know DevOps as well because AWS and DevOps is the combination. Okay, without cloud, there is no value for DevOps. And without DevOps, there is no value for cloud. Please remember these points. Okay, we'll talk about this in the coming sessions. Okay, who will fit into this DevOps? Okay, if you are a test engineer or if you are a database admin or if you are a developer. Okay, so how you should prepare? That too for your future perspective. Okay, learning a course means planning your career into the long term. Okay, not short term course. So if you learn RPA, what happened? Only 1 year you can survive. Or if you learn some other thing, you will learn Tableau. So now what is the future for Tableau? Like some tools are there. Okay, if you go by tool specific, definitely your career will be in a short term mode. So always try to stick onto the concept. So if you know concept, whatever the tool it might be, you will see the long career. Okay, you'll be having a long running career. That too, if you learn DevOps in AWS, you will have a long term career. Okay, no need to learn some other thing or no need to migrate to some other thing. Just learn AWS and DevOps for now. Just jump into the industry. That's it. Okay, so once you step into the industry, then try to focus on learning these two things: Docker, in depth of Docker, and let's say already you know Docker, right? So after that, just you try to learn Docker on your own, some other things, and the major important thing is learn Kubernetes. Learn Kubernetes. Okay, so I'll tell you this in the coming sessions. Okay, so these are the things that I am going to cover, right? Yes, I'll provide recordings for paid course. The paid course, you will get recordings. Okay, no issue, no issue. Yes, these tools will support any projects, not only .NET, any projects. The prerequisite is basic Linux. If you know Linux, you can do anything. That's why I'm starting a Linux. Okay, all right, sir. Right, sir. So if you want, I'll ask the management to post this course content in the any of the videos description. Okay, no need to worry. No need to worry about the content. Okay. So whatever things are there in the content, I'm going to teach more than that. Okay. So for my course, please don't depend on the content. Okay. Just try following me. That's it, sir. All right, sir. So in the previous class, what have we discussed, sir? In the previous class, what have we discussed? Let me close this. I think yesterday we have seen that how to create users, right? Say how to create users and groups and how to add users to the groups, right? How to add users to the groups and what happens when you create users, right? These are the main things that we focused. Right. So how to create users, sir? One quick review. So I want to create a user. For that, I should be a root user, right? So normal user cannot create users. I should be a root user. So which command should I use? Which command should I use? Which command should I use? Yes, that is to shift as root user. Sudo space -i. Very good. Very good. If you want to shift from normal user to root user, you should use sudo space -i. If you don't know the password for now, at least in our case, we have logged into our server as EC2 user. Okay. And if you want to switch as root user, yes, you should use this command. Very good. If you want to create users, you should go ahead and use user add command. User add, and the user name. Let's say Giri. After that, we need to provide a default password for user Giri to log into our server. Next. So how to create groups? How to create groups? In order to create groups, which command should you use? Group add and the group name. If you want to add users to the group, which command should I use? User mod -a capital G, add users to the group. Which group? DevOps group. What is the user that I want to add? Let's say I want to add user Giri. Right? Very good. Excuse me, sir. Right. So what happens when you create users internally? 3 files will get updated. So what are those 3 files? /etc /group /etc /password /etc /shadow. What are those? What are those 3 files contains? So /etc/group contains the group related information. The /etc/password contains the user related information like the username, user ID. Okay, and the default shell and the home directory of the user. And etc shadow contains the encrypted password for the user, right? Right. Very good, sir. So please concentrate. So please concentrate at least for 10 minutes. Okay, this is one important concept. Okay, if you want to know DevOps or if you want to learn DevOps, this is one important concept that you should know. Right, sir. Sir, I have logged in as a normal user. This is what the first point. Okay, I have logged in as a normal user. This is what the first point. So if you want to shift as user root, as I said, if you want to switch as any user, the command is what? Su space hyphen space the username you should give. Let's say the username is Giri. Or else the username is, let's say I want to switch as root user, the username is root. Like this. If you want to switch as any user, you should use the command what? Su space hyphen space Giri, like this. If you want to switch as user root, Su space hyphen space root you should give. Okay, it will ask you to enter the password. Then you should provide the root password. But unfortunately, we don't know the root password, right? Okay, in my case, I have launched the EC2 instance. So the EC2 instance is under my custody. Okay, so I have the root user for my EC2 instance because I have launched EC2 instance in my account, right? So in company, someone has launched this EC2 instance. I log in as my user account. You should log in to the AWS server by using your user account. Okay. Now, if you want to create user, so as a DevOps engineer, with one scenario, let's say for the Tomcat deployment, so you want to create one user. So for that, as a normal user, you cannot create user. That's the first point. Okay. If you try to create user, it will say permission denied. It will say permission denied. If you enter this command, say user add, let's say deployment, user add deploy. Let's say you want to create one user add deploy. So it will ask you to enter the password. It will say permission denied because only root user can create users, right? Now, if you try to switch as user root, it will ask you to enter the root password. So if you ask root administrator to, let's say to give his password, he will not give you the password, right? Obviously, why should he give? He will not give the admin password. Then what you should? In my case, as a normal user, by any way, as a normal user, I want to create an user. I want to create an user. Okay, I will not get root related password. Then how to create? What is SU in short? Switch user. Niranjan, switch user. Right? So if you want to create a user, so let's say this Giri is a DevOps engineer. So Giri log into his server. Now for the deployment purpose, he needs to create one user, but he's not having root related password because root user will not give his password. Now I want you to create an user as a normal user under any cost. So what this Giri user needs to do is he needs to send an email. Hey, I'm working as a DevOps engineer. Okay. So for the deployment purpose, I need to create an user, or I need to do some administration task. Okay. I want to work with some configuration management, some configurations of the files. For that, I need to be a root user. Okay. So please assign root privileges to me. This is what, as a Giri user, needs to send an email to user root. Okay. What Giri user needs to do? Giri user needs to send an email. What Giri user needs to do? Giri user needs to send an email to the root user. Needs to send an email to the user root by saying that, hey, I'm a DevOps engineer. So in one of my scenario, I need to create an user, or in one of the scenarios, I need to do with the some of the configurations of the files. For that, I need to have root privileges. So please provide by saying that what subject is, okay, for so and so purpose, I need to have root privileges. Okay. So what root user will do this time? He cannot give his password, right? He cannot give his password. So instead of giving him a password, a root related password, so what root user will do is root user will assign. Okay. Now root user will assign root related privileges. Instead of giving the password, what you do is root related privileges to a normal user. Like in this case, Giri. So once he receives the root related privileges, then he can go ahead and do the root related stuff. Okay, if you want, he can create users. If you want, he can go. He can create groups, or if you want, he can install packages. Whatever the things that root can do, the Giri user can able to perform. Okay, now assume that you are a root user because you are having the root related privileges, right? So you are a root user. Now you need to assign root privileges to user Giri. Okay, observe sir. Okay, in order to avoid the future confusions, sorry, this is my one class, right? So how to connect to my Linux box? You can connect just this time directly. Copy this. So if you are using a Linux machine directly from the example, you can directly copy and paste the command in order to connect to my server. That's it. Or else just open putty session, just enter the public IP address and then locate .ppk file. Right, sir. So how to switch as user root? As I said, in this case you need to say sudo space -i, because if you enter su space -space root, it is asking you to enter the password, root related password, but I don't have root related password, right? So this time what I'm doing is before performing the root related privilege, root related tasks, now it's better to have root related password in our hands. Okay, before performing root related tasks, it's better to have root passwords in our hands because we are the admins of our accounts, right? So what we'll do is we'll set a root password. Okay, we'll set up a root password in order to switch as root user. So how to switch the root password? How to set the root password? Right, I'm not going to tell you now. I'm not going to tell you now. Okay, we'll cover this a bit later. Okay, now let's directly switch as user root. Now I am switching as user root. I am switching as user root. Observe, I have switched as user root. How to confirm? How to confirm that I have switched as user root? As I said, dollar symbol means it's a normal user, hash means it's a root user. Other thing is you can add id command or else you can use who am I command, right? So it's saying root. So I have logged in as root user in this case. Now observe, sir. Now, so yesterday we have created two users, right? I think Mohan. So Mohan is there here. Let's say ID Mohan. Mohan user account is there here. Yes, Mohan is there. Now let's assign root privileges to user Mohan. Let's assign root privileges to user Mohan. So how to assign root privileges to user Mohan? Want to assign root privileges to a normal user, you should open this file vi. So all the configurations files will be under which directory, sir? So all the configuration files will be under which directory in Linux? Tarindu, you will get, just follow my YouTube channel, Satya Technologies. Yes, /etc. Very good. Very good, sir. Very good, sir. So, yeah. So, under etc, you should open a file called sudoverse. What is the file name you should edit? /etc/sudoverse. So, this is the file name that you should edit. Okay. So, as a root user, what you need to do? As a root user, what you need to do? What you need to do? vi/etc/sudoverse. So open this file. Sir, I'm opening this file. Enter. So in this file, sir, in this file, just be careful while modifying this file. Okay, be careful while modifying this file. If you enter anything other than this, just it will simply raise an error. Even you can't do any root related tasks. The entire server will be wasted because you don't have the root password, right? So you cannot do anything. If you do, okay, please take care while modifying this file. What I'll do is, okay, here you can find a line, sir, over here. Let's see. Observe the line. Hello, root to run any commands anywhere. It is saying that hello, root to run any commands anywhere. Okay, if you find hash symbol means it is a commented one. It is a commented line. Okay, so this line is a commented line. Allow root to run any commands anywhere. It is showing. So root is having these privileges, all equals to all and all, which means root can log into, let's say root can switch as any user, root can perform any task, and root can connect from any terminal. This three all means root can perform any task, and root can switch as any user, and root can connect from any terminal. Now I should, as a root user, what I need to do, I should provide root related privileges to the user Mohan, because Mohan is working as a DevOps engineer. He should be having root related privileges. So what I will do is I will copy this line and say I. So below to this line, now I'll mention the user account name Mohan, all equals to all, and say all. Okay, from now onwards, user Mohan also can switch as any user, can perform any task, can log in from any terminal. Okay, so how to save this? Escape shift:WQ. Escape shift:WQ. Now it is saying that, observe, sir. So read only option is set because it's a main configuration file. Okay, the file permission is set to only read. It is saying that, okay, for the file for this file it is setting up like for this file it is having read only option because it's a main configuration file. But anyways, you are doing as a root user, right? It is saying that add exclamation symbol to overwrite. That means forcefully we are writing into this file because I am a root user, right? Root user can do anything. So it is saying that if you want to save these changes, it is saying that WQ after Q, just enter this exclamation symbol in order to save this. Okay, I said WQ not enter. Enter. Sir. That means I have assigned root privileges to user Mohan. I have assigned root privileges to user Mohan. So how to assign root privileges to a normal user? Open this file. Open this file. Find a line where allow root to run any commands anywhere. Find this line. Okay, below to this root all equals to all and all, and enter the user account and just give, just like copy and paste the thing and just change the user account. That's it. Okay, so give the username, put all equals to all and all. That's it. How to save this? Because it's set to root, read only option, right? So WQ exclamation symbol. Save this. This once you have set up this. Once you have set up this, let's switch as user Mohan and let's try to perform root related task. Okay, let's try to switch as user Mohan and let's try to perform root related task. Sir, before to that one, sir, while doing your lab, okay, before you are assigning root privileges to a normal user, just to perform this command, sir. Okay, just to set up root password. Just set up root password, sir. So before assigning root privileges to any user while performing your lab, by doing your lab, okay, just set up the root password. PASSWD root as a root user. Once you switch as user root, by saying sudo space -i after entering this command, just set the password for user root. Okay, so from next time onwards, whenever root password is required, just we can go ahead and use that command. You can go ahead and enter the password. So where is that? Yes. So now I'm setting up password for root user because I have logged in as user root, right? So I can do this thing. So I'll say and modifying this one. I'm assigning some default password for user root. So root password is in my hands for now. Okay. So before doing the thing, just switch as user root and set the password for root. That's it. So after this, just go ahead and assign root privileges to a normal user. Next. Now switch as user Mohan. So how to switch as another user? Which command should I use? Monish Kumar, could you please turn off your video? Sir, please don't forget Sri. Please don't forget Syed Amin and others. Please don't forget the hyphen in between. Am I fool or what? Yesterday I said, right, if you want to switch as any user, the command is what? Su space hyphen space and the user name. This is what you should give. Why are you forgetting this hyphen? I don't understand. Yesterday clearly I said, right, use su space hyphen space and user Mohan. If you are very new to Linux, you will get so many problems if you enter su space hyphen space Mohan. If you forget this hyphen symbol, the entire story will be changed. Okay, please remember. Okay, while switching as another user, please use su space hyphen space Mohan. Okay, if you forget this hyphen symbol, you will be switched as user Mohan, but you will not be redirected into the Mohan's home directory. That is a long story. Okay, so please blindly remember this. If you want to switch as any user, just use this command su space hyphen space Mohan. Okay, if you forget this, there will be a problem. Okay, just say su space hyphen space Mohan. Right, very good, sir. So now I want to switch as user Mohan. Su space hyphen space Mohan. Right. So if I switch as user Mohan, what would be my home directory? If enter pwd, I would be into /home/Mohan. Right. Now, yes, this Mohan user is having root privileges. Now let's try to create user. Let's say now my Mohan user is working as a DevOps engineer, right? So let's say you want to create one user account. Let's say user add, let's say Anil. The user account is what? Anil. Enter. What is saying? Permission denied. Still it is saying permission denied. But this Mohan is having root privileges, right? Just now we have assigned the root privileges to user Mohan, right? But still it is saying permission denied. Okay. So you have assigned permission to root related permissions to Mohan, but my operating system doesn't know whether this Mohan is having root privileges or not. So for that, what you need to do is, after giving root privileges to a normal user, okay, if the normal user wants to perform any root related task, that too after having the root privileges, okay, before to the command you should mention a tag called sudo. You should mention a tag called sudo before to the command. Like so. So what does it mean? You are telling this operating system that, hey, I am having root privileges. I am having sudoers access. Just go ahead and check the sudoers file and perform this task to me. What does this command means? I am having root related privileges. Just go ahead and check in the root, go and check in the sudoers file and just perform this command for me. Sir, clear everyone? If normal user wants to perform root related task, the first thing is he should be having root privileges. So after assigning root privileges, after having root privileges, so before to the command, we need to put a tag called sudo. Okay, which means I am having root privileges. Go and check in the sudoers file and just perform this command to me. Now enter. So now it is asking to enter the password for Mohan, because you are performing root related task, right? So it is asking you to enter the password. So what is the password for Mohan? Yesterday we have set up one default password, right? So user got created. Okay, if you want to set the password for Anil, yes, you can go ahead and set up the password for Anil. How to set up the password? PASSWD and say Anil. Now it is asking for the password for Anil. Say I'll put some password. Right, done. Like this. Okay. So if normal user wants to perform any root related task, what are the things that he should have? So if normal user wants to perform any root related tasks, what are the two steps? Sir, what are the two steps? If normal user want to perform any root related task, the first step is the person should have root privileges. Yes, the second is before to the command you should put a sudo tag. Before to the command you should put sudo tag. Okay. So before practicing this, what you need to do? Switch as user root by saying sudo space -i and just set the password for user root. Right? Very good. Okay. Sir, got clarity? Everyone. Sir, everyone got clarity? Sir, this is very important thing. Okay. If it is confusing, I'll just repeat it once again. There is absolutely no problem for me to repeat it once again. Right. If you want me to repeat, very good. No problem, sir. Okay. Even one person asked to repeat it, I'll definitely repeat it. Yes, so many people are asking to repeat it, right? So as a normal user, if I want to perform a root related task, Okay, if I want to perform root related task, so what I need to do? I need to switch as user root. I need to switch as user root, and I need to open. So let's say if you want to assign root privileges to a normal user, so what I need to do? First, I need to switch as user root. I need to switch as user root. Okay. Then open. These were the first. These were the step one. These were the step one. Step one is okay. Shift as user root and say /etc/sudoers. Open this file /etc/sudoers. So within this file, you will find a line like this. Hello root to run any commands anywhere. Any commands anywhere. Okay. So here you will find a line like this. Root all equals to all and say all. Sir, as I said, Linux is case sensitive. Linux is case sensitive. Okay. If it is capital all means you should put all letters in the capital. Okay. Don't show your talent like this. Let's say if I want to assign root privileges to normal user Mohan. Okay. Don't put like this. Don't put like this. Okay. Linux is case sensitive. You should use the exact same case. If it is a normal case, if it is uppercase, yes, you should use uppercase only. Okay. Don't think that this Linux guys are fools. All equals to all. Or don't try to fool Linux. Just try to use the exact case. Okay. Again, I'm making a statement clearly here. Okay. If it is a uppercase, just try to use the uppercase letters only. Don't put lowercase letters. Right. So once you have done this, how to save this one in this case? W, Q, and exclamation symbol. So once you have assigned root privileges to that user Mohan, let's say SU space hyphen space. Now go ahead and check the root privileges. Now let's try to create one user. Say as user Mohan, user add, let's say Anil. This time it is again it will say that permission denied. Permission denied. So what you need to do? You need to attach a sudo tag before to the command. Then it will ask you to enter the password. It will ask you to enter the password for user Mohan. So if you enter the password for user Mohan, this command will get executed. Okay. So what is the second step? What is the second step? What is the second step? I'm deleting this one, sir. So the second step is what? Is what the second step? You should use a sudo tag before to the command. Very, very important thing to remember. Okay. So your entire DevOps career or your entire AWS career is depends on this sudo tag. Okay. Every time, whenever you want to perform any root related task, yes, you should be using this sudo tag. Your entire career is depends on this sudo concept. Okay. So before entering the command, you should use sudo tag. Then only you can perform root related task. But in order to give the sudo tag, first thing what you should have appropriate privileges. Otherwise, even though if you put sudo tag, it will not do anything. It will check on the sudo as well. Again, it will say that permission denied. Sir, clear? Sir, I hope it's clear for everyone. Is it clear? Is it clear? uh, who is this? Shreyas Dange. Please make sure that you have opened that file as a root user. If you open this file as a normal user, it will not show anything. It will show like this. Observe, sir. If you open it as a normal user, Shreyas, this is what the error you have done. Like this. This is what you will get, right? Is this the screen you got? We said it is not showing anything. So this is what you got, right? Okay. So observe, sir. If you get like this, just make sure that say escape shift colon, press just Q naught. Okay. Close without saving. So you should open as root user. Make sure that you should. Okay. You have opened this file as root user. That's why before to the command I put the hash prompt. Okay. So what is the output that you have got, Shreyas? Just paste that in the chat box. Okay. That's what I am saying, sir. The file must be edited with the vi sudo command. It is showing. So go ahead and use. Sir, there is a shortcut for this one. You can use this. Just try to enter this command and see. You can use this vi/etc/overs, or else there is a shortcut command you should use, vi sudo. Okay, vi sudo. So yes, just go ahead and enter this command and verify whether you can be able to open that file or not. Both the things are same, sir. vi/space/etc/sudo, or else within the shortcut, no space in between this. Vi sudo. Can you be able to open? Can you be able to see that file? Yes. Right. Right. Yes. So all equals to all and all. This first all means, this first all indicates he can perform any task, all tasks, or he can perform as any user, and he can log in from any terminal. Okay. Now one more important point, sir. Now one more important point. So in this case, as I said, Mohan is let's say Mohan is now he got root privileges, right? Mohan got root privileges. So he's a DevOps engineer. So daily he needs to perform root related tasks. Daily he needs to perform root related tasks. Daily he needs to perform root related tasks. There's a daily he needs to install some packages, or daily he needs to install, daily he needs to create some users, or daily he needs to work with some configuration management tools. Let's say, okay, I'm using the old command. I'm not introducing any new command for now. Let's say this Mohan user is working as DevOps engineer, right? So daily he needs to do root related tasks. Let's say this time he wants to create user called Swapna. Enter. So every time it is asking Mohan to enter the password, right? Every time it is asking to enter the password for Mohan while performing root related tasks. Every time he wants to perform this root related task, means every time if you want to enter the root related password, so it will be like, okay, it will be some problem to this user Mohan. Okay, let's say if I want to come out of this, I would say Control C. Okay, so you might feel some hectic while entering the password every time, each and every time. So daily he needs to work with some of the configuration management systems, or daily he needs to create some users, or daily he needs to install some packages. So every time daily he needs to work, or he needs to perform root related tasks only. So he might feel hectic to enter command every time whenever he wants to perform root related tasks. So this time user Mohan, so now observe, sir, we have assigned root privileges to user Mohan. Okay, so from the next time onwards, whenever this Mohan user wants to perform any root related task, should not ask him to enter the password. Without entering the password, this Mohan user can be able to perform the task. So clear? Is my statement clear? If he wants to do some root related task, it is asking to enter the passwords. But as a DevOps engineer, he would be working or he would be doing so many root related tasks. So every time entering the password means hectic to him. So I am pressing Ctrl C to get my dollar prompt, sir. So now, whenever this Mohan user wants to perform any root related task, it should not ask him to enter the password. So without entering the password, my Mohan user wants to perform this root related task. Okay. So this is all these are prerequisite to learn Ansible. Okay. If you know these things, then only you can set up and work with Ansible, sir. So please pay attention. Please pay. Previously, we have assigned root privileges to user Mohan. Now we are setting up that whenever this Mohan wants to perform any root related task, okay, it should not prompt to enter the password. Okay, without entering the password only, he needs to perform the root related task. Without entering the passwords, he needs to perform the task. So what I should do then? Let's switch as user root, or directly we got root privileges right now. So if you want to open sudo file, just go ahead and use sudo tag before to that one, vi/etc/sudoers. Because only root can edit this file, vi/etc/sudoers. But Mohan is having root privileges, right? So before to that, just go ahead and enter sudo tag. Okay, now it is asking the password to enter to perform this particular task. Okay, no problem. For this time, I am giving password. Okay, I have opened this file. Observe, sir. Okay, so before to the last all, I am putting NOPASSWD, no password, colon. This no password should be in capital letters. NOPASSWD. Sir, everyone, before to the last all, what I have done, within the capital letters, within the uppercase letters, I have mentioned, I put a tag called no password, NOPASSWD, colon all. That's it. Save this. Done. So from now onwards, whenever this user Mohan wants to perform root related task, it will not ask. Let's check that. Now again, I am using this command, sir. So previously I have used this command sudo vi/etc/sudoers. So it is asking to enter the password for user Mohan. Now I have given no password before to the last all, no password colon. That means whenever this Mohan user wants to perform root related task, it should not ask the password, right? So let's go ahead and check. Enter. Observe, sir. So without entering any password, it has opened this file or not? Without asking the password, it has opened this file or not? So this is how you can assign root privileges to user Mohan, that too with no password attached. So whenever this user Mohan wants to perform any root related task, it should not ask him to enter the password. So how to do that one? Open this file. Before to the last all, just put no password tag. Okay, it should be like this, NOPASSWD, the capital letters. Sir, is it making sense? Am I clear? Or any doubts? Sir, this is very, very important, sir. All these points are important. All these points are required for Ansible. If you want to set up and work with Ansible, all these points are required. Okay, because we are going to set up a passwordless authentication. So many things are there yet to come. Sir, whatever the Linux that I am teaching over here, right? This entire Linux is the basic. What are the just the concepts that I am teaching? Okay, all these things are prerequisite to Ansible. If you want to set up and work with Ansible, yes, definitely you should know these points. That's why I'm not going to cover the entire Linux administration. I'm going to cover whatever the things that are required to jump in Ansible. That's it. Once we jump into the Ansible, we'll learn some other administration concepts. Okay. So what you should do? You should put no password tag. So whatever the command I'm teaching over here in this DevOps Essentials course, okay, you are going to use each and every command. Okay, there is no single command that it is useless. All these entire commands you should remember. Okay, sir, I will not teach unnecessary 100 things. I will teach the only necessary 30 things. That's it. Okay, if you can see my syllabus, I haven't put any unnecessary tools like Puppet, Chef, Maven, any unnecessary tools. Those are useless. Don't waste your time on those tools. Okay, directly jump into the just you need to hit the target. That's it. Always your concentration should be on the target itself. Don't learn unnecessary tools or unnecessary stuff. Only these tools, whatever the things that I am saying in the class, those tools would be fine. Okay, so while learning, don't learn unnecessary 100 things. Only learn, put your 100% effort on the necessary 30 things. That would be fine. Okay, so that's why I'm saying all these things are very, very important. These are basics to set up Ansible, to work with Ansible. All these things are set up. All these things are very, very important. Not only for Ansible, for Puppet, Chef, whatever the configuration tool that you specify. Okay, or for Jenkins. For this, I mean to say for the entire DevOps course, these are the absolute prerequisites. Without having the knowledge on this, we are not going to do anything. Even for Git also, these are the mandatory steps. You will get to know once we enter into the topics. Okay. Right? Okay, I'm giving some time to copy the text. No problem, sir. Yes, yes, Chandramouli. Yes, you can make Swapna user also as root user through Mohan. Because Mohan is having pseudo privileges, right? Yes, sir. Sir, I'll put the syllabus copy in any of the videos and I'll update you tomorrow. Okay, I'll talk to the management to update the syllabus in any of the videos description. Okay, so that you can find the syllabus over there. Right? Okay. Sure, Ravi. By the end of the class, I'll do that. Ravi Krishna. I'll page that. Okay. So the fees details, just talk to the management. Right, sir. So done. So escape shift colon Q. Let me clear the screen. Now, how to install packages? Before to that, okay, we'll see the package session tomorrow. Let's say how to create hidden files. Yeah. Okay. This is the light concept. Just sit relaxed and just observe the screen. That's it. Okay. Let's say how to create hidden files and hidden directories in Linux. How to create hidden files and hidden directories in Linux. Okay, how to create hidden files and hidden directories in Linux. let's say if you want to create hidden files, generally how to create a file, either with the touch command, okay, or else you can go ahead and use vi, right? And just forget about cat. So cat is used to display the content of any file. That's it. So we are going to use cat command to display the content of any file. Say like this, right? File like this. Okay. So any of the ways we can go ahead and files. Right? Now if you want to create hidden files, in hidden directories, okay, before to the file name you should put a dot symbol. Before to the file name you should put dot symbol. Before to the file name you should put dot symbol. Okay, so if you put a dot symbol before to the file name, observe sir. So in this Mohan's home directory, I don't have any files. Okay, it is an empty directory. So what I'll do is, let me go ahead and quickly create some files. Let's say touch file 1, file 2, say file 3. So I have created 3 files. Let me go ahead and create one more directory over here. Let's say ABC. Observe sir. So this is what we have got. Right? So currently it is having one directory and 3 files. So some content is there. Let's say now I want to create some hidden. I want to create one hidden file. Okay. I want to create one hidden file. So how to create? So before to the command, you should put a dot symbol. Before to the command, you should put a dot symbol. Observe sir. Enter. So I have created one hidden file. So if you want to display the content of any directory, which command should I use? ls. Observe sir. So with ls command, I cannot able to see the file 4. Why? With ls command, I cannot be able to see the file 4 because this file 4 is a hidden file. How to know it's a hidden file? Before to that file name, you should be having a dot symbol. Okay. Now how to see the hidden files then? How to see the hidden files? Okay. Let's say, sir, I am using this laptop. Even my brother also using this laptop. Assume that. Okay. Just for a simple example. Okay. Raja K, if you want to get the answer, just go ahead and watch my initial videos. Or else just wait for the sessions. Wait for the Ansible introduction sessions. Okay. Right. Right, sir. So how to see the hidden files? ls space -a. If you want to see the hidden files as well, just say ls space -a. Now this time you observe, sir. You can able to see this dot file 4, right? You can able to see this dot file 4. So if you want to see the files, all files along with the hidden files, just say ls space -a, so that you can be able to see dot file 4. Now I want to create one hidden directory. How to create hidden directory, sir? How to create hidden directory? mkdir is the command. Say dot xyz. Before to the directory name, just go ahead and put dot symbol. Say ls. I cannot see xyz over here, right? So ls space -a. Now you can able to see dot xyz over here. Clear, sir? Now let's say I want to, sir, this time one quick question for you guys. I want to convert this file to as a hidden file. How can I convert? Anyone, sir? Anyone from the attendees? Yes, Kaushik, very good. Swap C. Very good, sir. Well, right, sir. Good, sir. Right. Very good, sir. Very good, sir. Just simply rename the file to dot file. That's it. As simple as that. Now say ls. You cannot able to see. file to, because I have just renamed the file to with dot file. Okay, so if you are creating a new hidden file, so while creating the file, just mention dot symbol before to the file name. So if already file is there, if you want to hide that file, just rename that file with a dot. Okay, rename the file with the dot before to the name. That's it. Okay, so maximum most of the configuration files would be hidden files. Okay, most of the configuration files would be under most of the configuration files are hidden files. Okay, or it would be under hidden directories. Okay, most probably if you are working with SSH configurations and OpenSSL configurations, those settings, at least in the Kubernetes or in Docker, the majority of the configuration files you should be able to find, or those configuration files are hidden files. So anyways, we are going to work with hidden files and hidden directories as well. No need to worry. Okay. So this is how, if you want to create a new one, just go ahead and create a file with a dot symbol. If already file is there, if you want to convert it as a hidden file, just rename the file with a dot. Okay. So if you want to see the all files along with hidden files, say ls space -a is the command. Clear, sir? Right, sir. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we are going to work with the package management. If possible, what we'll do is we'll try to modify the default behavior of AWS EC2 instance. Let's say AWS supports key-based authentications, right? So tomorrow, let's try to change that. Let's try to change it to password authentications. Okay. So how to modify the default AWS behavior, default logging behavior, default authentication model. So as a right. So in the early classes, so AWS supports key-based authentications. So how to enable password authentications as well. So how to modify that behavior, how to enable password authentications as well, so that the user Mohan can also able to log into this server by using his username and password. Okay. So we'll see in the tomorrow's class. Those things we'll see in the tomorrow's class. If possible, I'll jump into the yeah. Tomorrow I'll jump into the package management and the networking concepts as well. Okay. So today is a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, right. So, anyways, I'm going to start a new batch as we discussed earlier for Ansible for main DevOps course from the next Monday, which is of a paid classes. That too for the students who are attending this free classes only. Okay. Now let me paste these notes in the chat box. So those things are not required. Those are the previous class and. So I'm pasting the notes in the chat box. If you want, just go ahead and copy this. No update on fees, Jagdish. It might be around, as far as I know, it might be around 6,000. Okay, I'm not sure about that. Just contact the management. Okay, right, yeah. Or else I'll contact the management today and I'll get a clarity about the fees, so that I'll announce you in the tomorrow's class. Right? Okay, sir. Mohan, I'll put the content in the YouTube video description. Okay, no need to worry. Or else I'll share it in the coming classes. Let's see. Okay, let's see the possibilities. Sir, this is what important thing, sir. After finishing your lab or your practicing, what you need to do? Select the instance, go to actions, instance state, and say stop. That's it. Right, sir. So thank you, sir. Thank you everyone for attending the session. Yeah, have a good day, sir. So it will be gone for only Mohan, Niranjan, only Mohan, not for others. It's for only Mohan. You didn't get notes in chart? Oh, I might have sent it to Niranjan Jain, I guess. Sorry. Sir, just a minute. So I haven't selected. Okay, no problem, sir. Yeah. Previously, I have selected only one particular user. I'll say everyone. Now I'll say everyone. Sir, I'm pasting the notes in the chat box now. Okay. Go ahead and copy this. Right, sir. So that's all for today, sir. Thank you everyone for attending the session. Bye.